Hello everyone. Good evening. It's 15 minutes late, but well. Let's just... Whoa. What the hell is this? Go away. Why are there two instances of you? You're supposed to be two instances. Oh well. You have so little faith, Pix. So very little faith. Although it might not be today, it might actually be next time. I can't remember like where the like, oh my god, it comes. God, it is a good guy. Oh right, I haven't actually taken my things today. I'm gonna have to do so many things today. But we have quite a bit of things to do. So doubt. Oh, don't you doubt. You will learn to love the coffee. And it's going to be amazing. And also I'm gonna look if I can get myself a microphone stand soon. Or well, it's more to say, accurate to say it's a lamp. You know, because it's just going to dismantle a lamp. But hey. Vitamin D. Gotta have it. Oh, and this light's here. There we go. Oh, yeah, yeah. Take care of yourself, Pix. So. Good morning. Oh, are you up by yourself? Ah, morning, Pearls. Mr. Nick, please tell me, what's going to happen with Mystic Maya? I'm sorry, we don't know yet. The investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed into the inner temple. Oh, I see. So, is Sister Iris still trying to remove those trick clocks in the trading hall? No. She's the defendant in this case, so she can't be at the inner temple. She's required to be here in court. Then... So, how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby? I have to admit it's kind of strange. If you're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. Hedgeworth? What's Iris doing over there? She's going over with today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony? You heard me. Iris is going to testify as a witness for the prosecution. Wait, what? The prosecutor is squeezing her for a confession, so I heard. Franziska from Karma, what are you up to? I know what you're thinking, but Franziska isn't going to be the prosecutor today. What? Then who is? Who else would it be but Prosecutor Godot? Godot? Franziska's engaged with some important work in the Sacred Cavern. The Sacred Cavern? You don't mean she's... Exactly. She has been out there all night trying to remove those trick locks. With the head nun's assistance, naturally. We estimate the last of the locks should be taken care of in about 3 hours. We hope everything continues to go smoothly, and we soon receive good news. Yeah, thanks, Edgeworth. Prosecutor Godot intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow. You don't have to tell me that. Touché. I can already see it in your eyes. You're not the same fever-ridden, frenetic maniac you were yesterday. It's strange. On the way here, I decided that today would be the end of all this. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Maybe you've passed your cold on to someone else, literally. And with that, I leave the rest in your capable hands, partner. Thanks. Oh, Edgeworth! I still don't have answers to most of the riddles plaguing this case. But the circumstances around the murder of Miss Alice Duxnam No, I mean Misty Faye. The impossible flight Larry claims to have seen. And what that woman is really after. I will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end. Court is now in session for the trial of Iris of Hazakura Temple. Your Honor? What are you... Oh, who? Me? Well, my little brother came to visit me in my chambers this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. Hello, Red. Therefore, I'll be standing in for him. I see, Your Honor. So, they're brothers. That explains a lot. My poor brother! He looked a bit pale, not to mention sad he couldn't be here. It is impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. This is precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. And we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment. Well said, Mr. Godot. I understood exactly what you said. At least up until the end, anyways. Now then, Mr. Godot, please proceed with your opening statement. Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. Therefore, there is only one thing that is constant in this crazy world. The bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug. So then you mean... forget it. What do you mean? Okay, Shard. Take care. During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime, but today she has a change of heart. Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple has a confession to make. Confession? The defendant? Iris, why didn't she discuss this with me first? Very well. This court will now hear the defendant's confession. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That is one of my rules. My name is Iris. I am but a simple nun undergoing training at Hazakura Temple. Witness, is there something you want to confess to? Hello, Ellie. Yes, but first I would like to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore. It's all right. What is it? Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident. Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you're the one who murdered Miss Elise Duxnin? No, Your Honor. Thank you. Ah, okay, Ellie. Take care and keep the focus on work. I wouldn't like to, take up all your time and effort and all the attention, No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with a cover-up after the murder took place. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise and carried it to the Hazakura Temple courtyard where I desecrated it. What? Order in the court! Order! Witness! Are you saying you were an accomplice to the murder? Yes, that is correct. What? So we have more dessert here. Wow, there's so much of it. I actually didn't know there was this much of this raspberry cream left. There's so much in it. 3 minutes in court and I'm already covered in a cold sweat. Another cup of coffee, that's 2. Everyone on the planet is accomplice to something. It just happens that in this case, it's to a murder. Isn't that right, Mr. Trite? At Godot. So, this is what the confession they were conferring about. It pains me to say this, but it looks like Iris' testimony was all a lie. This knife of yours. Now then, little lady, if you don't mind, I got some questions for you. Whose crime did you try to cover up for your actions? I was covering for someone. I'm definitely up the creek without a paddle or a life jacket. I've been at Hazakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Hazakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Korean tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family. I'm sorry, but main family? Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself if need be to protect her. The daughter of the master of the Korean channeling technique. Mystic Maya Fey. Huh? Wake up and smell the coffee, Trite. She's naming Maya? Order! Order in the court! So, not only did you witness the murder, but you know the name of the murderer. I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes. And then I cleaned up the area to try to protect her. That's ridiculous! Maya could never do such a... The defense will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime? Yes, Your Honor. I thought I was prepared for the unexpected, but I never imagined this case would end up taking this direction. Okay, there's a lot of, like, I'll definitely underestimate this. Yeah, like, oh, we're gonna be accusing Maya. Great. It's not an Ace Attorney game without Maya getting accused of murder, you know? I went to the inner temple that night and I saw it all happen in the garden. I saw Mystic Elise strike Maya with her staff. While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. It was only self-defense, you can't blame her for it. So, it was self-defense. Yes, Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first. That's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya. You moved the victim's body to a temple so that Maya wouldn't be suspected. Isn't that right? Not bad. You've got the instinct of a true criminal. Something's not quite right. I'm sure it was established yesterday that Iris never went to the inner temple that night. And that person who did go was that woman. Even Iris admitted it. Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with our cross-examination. So, this makes no sense whatsoever because Elise Duxnam is Misty Faye, so screw that. Elise Duxnam would never have attacked Maya Faye. How can he be so sure? Because the victim's real name is not Elise Duxnem. Her real name was Misty Faye. Faye? Ah, no! Not Mystic Misty Faye! Who is this Misty Faye? Is she related to him? Misty Faye is the master of the crane channeling technique. She is also the mother of Maya Faye. Are you serious? Is it really true? Miss Wright? Was Elise Duxnem actually the great Mystic Misty? There's no doubt about it. It looks like Iris had no idea. I can hardly believe it. The idea that she would try to kill her only daughter, one she hasn't seen in 17 years. Perhaps the prosecution would offer some explanation as to why she would do such a thing. Ugh. Order in the court. There's no doubt about it. This is certainly odd. I find it difficult to believe that a mother would try to kill her own daughter. If it turns out that I'm wrong about this, I'll quit my day job and open up a coffee house. I'd like to believe that domestic violence cases like these never occur, but unfortunately they're all too common. That's why people drink bitter coffee, you know. That's not why I drink bitter coffee, and I love bitter coffee. I drink like, I think I had like 3 of like, I have typically between 1 and 4 cups of coffee like at work on a typical day. You brought to light a very interesting fact, Mr. Wright. But I must agree with the prosecution that domestic violence is not all that rare. You don't mean the fact that they were the mother and daughter doesn't itself disprove the witness' claims? Snarking at Golla's commentary. I think it would be best if we return to the testimony at hand. Yes, Your Honor. Oh. Somehow, it looks like I would have to find another contradiction in her testimony. Something more conclusive than this. Well, there's also the fact that, like, with the staff, so this is really weird. I did? Oh well. You're saying that the victim attacked Maya? I mean, Miss Faye? Yes, it was a truly frightening scene. Mystic Maya was struck hard on the head and looked like she was about to collapse. What were you doing at the time? Why didn't you stop them from fighting? I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I was frightened. I couldn't move. I couldn't even speak. I was in such a shock. That's perfectly understandable, my dear. This doesn't sound right. I don't believe this testimony for a minute. What happened after that? I guess, She moved in to deliver a fatal strike? Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon. Wait a minute. What was this weapon? It was some kind of dagger. A dagger, huh? And Elise Duxnem tried to stab her with this weapon? To kill Miss Faye? Yes. Exactly. Ha. You look like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce. Do you have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy? Do I have a problem with Iris' testimony? Yes, because like, why would she discard her staff when the staff has a sword in it? Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness testimony. You do? But this witness is your own client. Yes, well, nevertheless, that's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to the testimony. Yes, sir. Hey, just a moment. It's my job to say that. Listen, Grams, I won't say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. Dora is pretty high up herself. Okay now, let's continue. But that makes no sense because... Bob. Sister Iris, there's something strange about your version of the events. Huh? Miss Duxton throwing her staff away makes no sense at all to me. But all you can do with the staff is hit someone. Naturally, you wouldn't even know this, Sister Iris, but the victim's staff had a special feature about it. As you can see, it's a sword. And if Elise Duxname really wanted to kill Maya Fey, she wouldn't need to use a separate dagger. Not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands. Order! Order in the court! Upon first hearing the witness testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts we have just been presented... 1. The victim supposedly threw away a sword during the fight, and 2. The two were battling to the death with mother and daughter. Despite the facts being believable when taken on their own, when taken together, the entire story seems a little bit difficult to believe. Third cup of coffee, or is that the fourth? Listen, no, there's nothing in this world that's impossible. Except for one little thing. Yes? And what's this impossible little thing? Ha! You still don't get it. You think maybe my beans are under-roasted, but you have no idea, Gramps. Could you get to your point? I heard this witness confession this morning. Just as I'd taken the first sip of my 8th cup of morning coffee. You're going to ruin your health, my friend. Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who loves to investigate sent to the scene of the crime. And he discovered this little beauty. Is that the dagger the witness testified about seeing? Obviously, Your Honor. But do you not notice something else? Now that you mention it, if you look closely, there appears to be blood on it. Where did you find that? I didn't see that when I was investigating the crime scene. Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene? We did not. Huh? The pine tree? The dagger was struck in the backside of the pine tree. When the last blow was struck, ending the violence between the two women, this little baby was thrown in the direction of the back of the pine tree. Which means the blood on this dagger belongs to the victim, correct? Ha! Were you even listening, old man? I first heard this confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of morning coffee. Did you say it with your 8th just a minute ago? I didn't have enough time to get the blood analyzed on such a short notice. In any case, the court will accept the dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I order that a blood test be performed on it immediately. This is why, sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right. Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately. It's like, nope, stop, Goddard. Now then, the testimony we just heard has had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we consider her testimony to be credible. Another cup of coffee? Cute girls never lie. Ever. In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to this court.
About what, Your Honor?
About the incident you saw. The battle between the two women.
Yes, Your Honor. Minor important question. How goes the battle? Did you win this battle, or did the spaghetti remain like almost undefeated? Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff, but then she dogged Mystic Elite's next attack and stole her weapon. Suddenly, Mystic Elise was one on the offensive with her back to the stone lantern. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. And Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed.
That was a very heartbreaking story.
I don't know if there are any bad feelings between them, but it had been 17 years since Mystic missed his disappearance. Perhaps they simply didn't recognize each other anymore.
What's going on with Maya in this case?
She's missing.
So to find Maya, we need a lot of faith.
Bap her! Bap her! Bap her! We have a beautiful emote. Lowercase oxy, capital BAP. Use it. We BAP Tenho. She's probably typing out what she was saying right now, but she needs a good BAP on the head. Hey, Kaimo! Thank you. That is very much appreciated.
That seems reasonable. Now, Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination.
So the thing is, though, the autopsy report says that that Elise died from a stab through the back. So it'll be this one, I guess? No, this one. The autopsy says really clearly that she has stabbed from the back, so nope. Your case falls apart, little girl. Something about you just isn't right today, Iris. Huh? No, don't encourage her, Ellie. Don't. Tenho deserves the bapping instead. She deserves the hottie-san. Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions. What do you mean? What's so wrong with my testimony? According to you, Maya Faye stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone lantern, correct? Yes, that's right. But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right?
Yes, I think so.
But, according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in her back. Ah. This proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt has been sprouted from your testimony. Ah!
What was the meaning of this, Mr. Wright?
Another cup of coffee?
Ha! It's simple.
People are like books. We got a front and a back. You get my drift?
Is that all you have to say?
I can also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind. Could you please knock it off with those cheesy proverbs and logical metaphors already? The point is, too much of this testimony doesn't make any sense. Throwing away the useful stuff, people fighting being mother and daughter, And now she falsely claims that the victim was stabbed in the stomach. That certainly are some inconsistencies. Well, Iris,